Here's something that will change how you think about your portfolio forever. Diversification is not a strategy, it's a starting point. Most people build a portfolio, 60% stocks, 40% bonds, and think they're done. Set it and forget it. That's what the experts say, right? Well, in 2022, that was the worst year for the 60-40 portfolio since the 1970s. Bonds got crushed, stocks got crushed, the diversified portfolio lost money in every way. And the thing is, if you understood the environment we were in, you would have seen it coming. Today, I'm going to break down the 4 environments that determine what works and what doesn't in your portfolio. This is the same framework Ray Dalio used to build Bridgewater into one of the world's largest hedge funds. And it's the foundation of how we think about allocation in our multi-strategy hedge fund. For those of you new here, my name is Mark Anderson, construction worker turned 0DT and multi-strategy hedge fund manager of MBH Capital Management. But here's the thing, 0DT is just one tool in the toolbox. When I started thinking about managing larger amounts of capital, I had to zoom out. I had to understand how different strategies fit together, how to always be in what's working, and that's why the multi-strategy is on. And it starts with understanding those 4 environments. Let me explain. Think of it like planting a tree. Diversification is planting that tree. You pick good soil, you put it in the ground, and you walk away. That's your 60-40 portfolio. That's your set it and forget it. But if you were to never water that tree, if you never checked for bugs, if you ignored whether it was summer or winter, and that tree is going to struggle. It may even die. Maybe it just never grows the way it should have. Multi-strategy is tending to that tree. It's understanding that in spring, you water it more. In winter, you protect the roots. Different seasons require different care. Here's what I want you to understand. Diversification is your neutral position, but multi-strategy is understanding how you need a different neutral for each environment. And there are 4 environments that matter. Ray Dalio figured that out decades ago. At any given time, the economy is in one of these 4 states, and each state has a different set of winners and losers. The 2 variables are simple. First is growth. It's measured by GDP. Is the economy expanding or contracting? Next is inflation. This is measured by CPI. Are prices rising or falling? That gives you 4 quadrants. 1, growth plus inflation. This is an expansion period with rising prices. 2, growth plus deflation. Expansion with falling prices. This is rare. 3, recession plus inflation means stagflation. The economy is shrinking, but prices keep rising. This is the worst. 4, recession plus deflation. A classic recession with falling prices. Now here's what most people miss. Each environment has completely different playbooks. What works in one can destroy it in another. Let's go through each one. Environment 1, growth and inflation. This is an environment where we are right now. GDP growth is above 3.5%, inflation is above 2.5%. The economy is expanding, but prices are also rising. What works here? Equities. When there's growth, earnings grow. Companies make more money and stocks go up. Next, commodities. Inflation means there's demand for real assets. Copper for data centers, energy for everything, and gold as a currency hedge. Then there's carry strategies. When inflation is high and growth is strong, you want to be getting paid to hold assets. Futures yield, roll yield, positive carry. Quick definition, carry is the return you get from holding something, like your house has negative carry because you pay insurance for repairs and property taxes. A bond would have positive carry. It pays you interest to hold it. In commodities, carries can come from something called futures yield, when you're essentially getting paid to provide liquidity to hedgers who need to lock in prices. Okay, now what does not work during this time of growth and inflation? Bonds. This is critical. When inflation is above 2.5% and the Fed is hiking, bonds get destroyed. You're holding an asset that pays you 2% while inflation is running at 4%. You're losing purchasing power, and when rates rise, bond prices fall. In 2022, we had exactly this environment. People holding the 60-40 portfolio got crushed because 40% of their portfolio was in an asset class that was mathematically almost guaranteed to lose. Here's how I like to think about it. If you gave up a decade of gains in bonds in 2022 and they still haven't recovered, but you didn't notice that because of the AI boom bailed you out with equities, that's luck. That's not a strategy. In our multi-strategy approach, we recognize that inflation environment early. We reduced bond exposure to the first rate hike because once inflation is running hot, bonds don't help you. They make it worse. Now environment 2, recession plus deflation. This is the classic recession. Growth is negative, prices are falling. Think the housing financial crisis of 2008 or the dot-com crash in 2000. So what works here? Bonds. This is the one environment where bonds are your best friend. When the economy is contracting, the Fed cuts rates. When rates go down, bond prices go up. You want duration in bonds. You want these type of bonds. What doesn't work? Equities. Earnings are falling, companies are going bankrupt, and stocks are crashing. Commodity carry strategies also tank. No one's building anything, no one's buying gas, demand evaporates, and commodity carry strategies can go down 50% in this environment. Commodity trend following does extremely well in these environments because they can short commodities. Dating back 100 years, 8 of the 10 worst down years in the 60-40 portfolio, commodity trend followings were positive, help offsetting equity drawdowns. This is why you can't just hold the same allocation forever. In a growth plus inflation environment, you want commodities and you don't want bonds. In recession and deflation environment, you want bonds. Same assets, completely different outcomes based on entirely the environment. Environment 3 is the worst. The economy is shrinking, but prices are rising. This is what happened in the 1970s. Equities and bonds got destroyed in this environment. That's the brutal truth. Bonds don't help because inflation is eating your returns. Equities don't help because earnings are falling and rates are rising. Commodities do amazing because prices are rising and businesses desperately need to control risk from price change. The playbook in stagflation is defense. You're trying to lose less, not to win. Gold tends to hold value, cash is king, and you stay liquid and wait. From 1968 to 1980, investors lost almost half of their money in bonds and stocks, twice. After adjusting for inflation, they made nothing over a 12-year period. They went through all that pain of those massive drawdowns twice and ended up exactly where they started 12 years later. On the other hand, the Goldman Sachs Commodity Trend Index was up 700% between 1970 and 1980. That's why understanding your environment matters. Lastly, we have the Goldilocks environment. Growth is strong, but prices aren't rising. This has been the monetary experiment since 2008. Every central bank around the world flooded the economy with money supply. Every time the Fed cut supply in 2018 or 2022, the economy tanked. And each time the Fed bailed it out again with getting less and less of an effect. What works? Everything basically. Equities, love it. Bonds, fine. It's the easiest environment to invest in. The challenge is it doesn't last. Eventually, growth creates inflation or deflation turns into recession. This is the transitional state. When we see this environment, we stay broadly allocated. We don't get aggressive in any one direction. We enjoy it while it lasts. So here's how this all comes together. Diversification is figuring out what your neutral allocation is. Maybe it's 40% US stocks, 20% international stocks, 20% bonds, 10% commodities, and 10% in any type of alternative. Whatever your baseline is, multi-strategy is recognizing that your neutral state is going to shift based on the environment. When inflation is above 2.5% and growth is strong above 3%, you will tilt towards equities, commodities, and carry strategies while reducing your bond exposure. When we're in a deflationary recession, you will tilt towards bonds and cash. You reduce equity exposure and increased commodity trend exposure. When it's stagflation, you get defensive. Gold, cash, and weighted out. This isn't day trading. This isn't market timing. These are years and long-term regime shifts. You're not trying to predict the next month. You're trying to recognize the environment you're in and position your portfolio accordingly. Here's another way to think about it. If you have different seasons of life, when you're 30, you need to grow. You can handle that volatility. You're in growth plus inflation in your personal environment. When you're in your 60s, 5 years from retirement, you don't need growth anymore. You need to preserve your purchasing power. You're in a personal stagflation mode. A 50% drawdown at 60 means going back to work till you're 70. The multi-strat mindset applies this to your personal allocation too. So where are we right now? GDP is currently strong and inflation is above 2.5%. We're in growth plus inflation environment. That means equities have tailwinds, commodities are attractive, carry strategies work well, and bonds are a drag. Does your portfolio reflect that, or are you still holding that same 60% stock, 40% bond allocation, like nothing's changed. The biggest hedge funds in the world, like Millennium, Bridgewater, and Renaissance Technologies, all think this way. They're not just diversified, they're constantly adapting to the environment in front of them. Millennium has had one down month since 2018, minus 0.1%. 1 month, that's it, not luck. That's understanding the environment and having the tools to respond to it correctly. My goal with these videos is simple: help thoughtful investors see the mechanics behind the market more clearly. If you found this useful, hit the like button so we know to make more content like this. Also, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss the next breakdown. I'd love to hear from you. What's the biggest question you still have about the 4 environments? Drop it in the comments below, and I'll see you guys on the next one.